We ask men who are unable to share their emotions, what would you like to get off your chest? Story 1. Part of getting to 50 is growing realizations of the inevitability of finality of death. I feel every bit of what you describe here, and it's been coupled with questioning the worth of self-sacrifice, and striving when at the end you die at what does it mean at that point. My dad passed away about 6 weeks ago, and we have been going through this thing, and so many projects he had, so many tools and pieces and parts of things he wanted to do and was doing. What does it mean? Where's the benefit in the time he spent, the money he spent? He's still dead, and here's all this stuff that has lost a great deal of its meaning without him there to activate it. But I'm coming to realize that the benefit lays in him. It was his mind, his life, his world he was working in, and he was moving every day to rearrange and change small pieces to suit him. In a way, it was very liberating to feel this way about the world. There are gladly borne responsibilities to friends and families. That's part of what makes your world right. Then there are other things, and you choose the importance that they have in your life, and how much of your vanishing time and energy you spend them on. The rest you let go. At the end of the day, your life is ultimately yours and yours alone. You get to choose, even if it doesn't feel like it sometimes. Story 2. There's that time. That golden sweet spot when you have an afternoon nap at the weekend, after you've already done your crap list in the morning so you know you deserve that nap. There's that 1 in 10 times where you wake up after the perfect amount of sleep, and you feel the mixture of cozy, refreshed, and a little bit of disorientated. Where you wake up and with a little bit of pep and feel you can accomplish anything that day. That's the miracle, the sweet spot. The only time that I don't feel run down, somewhat alert, dreary, stagger between morning and night. Story 3. I act indifferent and have things under control, but in reality I'm terrified of the future. I think about 100 what-if scenarios a day. I don't like to talk about it myself because I feel like I'm not interested, or people don't care about what I have to say about my life. Thank goodness I have good friends, but those things, not even them I can share with. Story 4. I recently became a father and started getting greater responsibilities professionally, and this is basically my entire day. Pretend to be in control at home, pretend to be in control at work. To many people, too important to me, depend on me maintaining this facade for me to just drop it. Just a year ago, nobody depended on me. My world's changed so radically, but I'm still the same on the inside. Story 5. Only one of my friends ever contacts me unprompted. Whether it's via text message or a quick drop-by, I would never have heard from others again if I didn't message or call them first. This isn't as bad as some of the others here, but it has been bothering me for a long time. Story 6. Well, I have severe depression and anxiety. I even got diagnosed with PTSD, and honestly, the best thing you can do is accept that it's there. Lying to yourself about it just makes it worse. Believe me, that's what I did, and I ducked myself up even more. You know what helps me get through it, though? The proverb, the shark who does not swim, drowns. Take it a day at a time, and if needed, one therapy session, do it per time. Story 7. I'm tired of pretending everything's going well. I lost all motivation and drive to do well in life. I keep telling myself it'll get better, but nothing is going right. I just want a hug from someone who really cares about me and to tell me everything will be okay. I want to drop out of school so badly to recover, but that's not possible. Story 8. I don't know how I feel half the time. I find other people's emotions relatable and I feel like I can empathize with them, but when it comes to mine, it seems difficult to define. I hate that I lie about myself to make myself seem more interesting. It's hindering. I feel so stupid after it and just start cringing myself. I don't know if I'm stupid or if I'm intelligent. I'm lazy, I know that much. I don't feel wanted or needed in my life, but I know that logically it's not true. I just associate being wanted or loved with physical affection, and those interactions are few and far between. I'm not scared of death. but I'm scared of risking things. Sometimes I even think that death would be a good option, because I feel there's no pre-designated point to living. We have to create a point, and I don't know what I want my point to be. Story 9. My wife needs me to be mentally and emotionally strong, capable, confident, able to make decisions, able to lead and manage. I can't show weakness, anxiety, indecision, or exhaustion. Not in front of her, at least. I cannot make mistakes, but I'm weak, anxious, indecisive, and exhausted because I'm a human. 2020 has been a tough year for everybody, but in addition to the virus, I've started a new job in a new country and born to brunt all the administrative, logistical, and financial management of moving us. I have decision fatigue. I wake up with a sense of dread, and all I really want to do is hibernate. But I can't show it. She'll lose faith in me if I don't keep a stiff upper lip, and just handle it like a quote man. She supports in a lot of practical ways, shopping, cooking, cleaning, childcare, but what I need now is a friend. Someone I can be myself with and can share my fears and vulnerabilities with. Can have the liberty to be less than perfect with. She won't let me do that because it scares her too much. She needs a strong man to cling to, and if her man turns not to be strong, she lashes out in fear. So, I kinda bottle it up. I used to have a huge group of male friends. I couldn't really discuss these things, but at least we could go out for a drink once in a while and just unwind. But COVID and moving have put an end to that. I now feel that I have no one. Really, no one who's close enough with whom to share this crushing burden of responsibility to. And yeah, it's affecting our marriage, because it doesn't really feel like a partnership. A husband and wife should first and foremost be friends. But she says she can't be friends because friends don't have to rely on each other financially. It's like being married to a housekeeper or secretary. I mean, we do have coitus from time to time, but without the emotional support of a friend, I feel like the two is a performance. That I have to put on a persona of super masculine, hyper-dominant, real man. Anything less, she says, is disgusting. She doesn't even like cuddling afterwards because she thinks it's pathetic and real men don't cuddle. They just duck and leave. I'm deeply, deeply unhappy, but the only people who know are random internet strangers. One day, I swear I'm going to crack. The only reason I don't is because we have a kid. Story 10. My wife is currently having an emotional affair with a coworker and shows no remorse. Her family and friends seem to support her, and I had some serious anxiety about a year ago of a handful of months. And my wife found someone else during that time. My whole world is destroyed and I feel like a loser. I'm too embarrassed to admit it to my friends and I don't know how I can continue. She starts individual counseling tomorrow and all I can hope is that she at least realizes how hurtful she's been. I can't imagine being with anyone else, but having your wife tell you that she thinks she may be happier with another man just sucks all self-worth out of you. Story 11. I hate it when expectations are placed on me. Next year, I'm going to college. My parents have expectations of me passing and successfully getting in. So, as of now, she wants me to retain or get higher grades than usual. And the thing is, I don't want stress. I want to live my life peacefully and stress-free as much as possible. My parents aren't bad. I know they just want the best for me. It's just that I'm afraid I cannot meet their expectations and disappoint them. To try and get rid of the stress and pressure temporarily, I usually play video games, watch television shows, or even read books. I'll admit that I do put a lot of time into those things, but the reason why is because it helps me temporarily forget about my problems in the world. While doing those things, I can feel at ease. But sometimes my parents condemn me a bit for spending too much time on those things I love. Sometimes I just want to say that I do these things to help me calm down about life. But I don't know how to say it or even if they would understand. Lastly, I feel like there's no purpose in my life. I just wake up every day, go to online class, listen to the teachers, do the requirements, sleep, rinse, repeat. I just don't know what to do in life. I feel like an empty husk that has no purpose. I mean, I'm not thinking of hurting myself or anything, but sometimes I just wonder what it would be like if I just never existed. I just don't know what to do with life. I have no goals, no dreams. I don't even feel happiness. I don't know what to make me happy. I just feel lost. I don't know what to do. Story 12. I have a dream, but my family thinks it's impractical. I want to be a meteorologist, but here's my country. Science is just looked down on here. Still, I know that God's in control. I'm currently in high school. I work on my break days. After doing my assignments, I've studied basic weather concepts by the night. Little by little. Sometimes I don't get to study because of many house homeworks. Still, I'm determined to try to make my dream come true. I know it's difficult, but I've fallen in love with it. I only know so little, but I'm determined to know more. This is a dream of mine, and I will not stop until I make it happen. Maybe, after a few more months or years, my family will get to accept that this is my dream. Or maybe, after a few months or years, I'll realize that this is not a dream for me. Well, I guess they say, time will tell. Story 13. My ex-wife, who mentally abused me for years and physically abused me on separate occasions, who I've been separated with for 2.5 years, she's in the process of getting a divorce from, still harasses me to this day, as well as the woman I've been dating. I've asked for help on several occasions from the police and the court system, and I basically get mocked and laughed at by our judicial system because, quote, "What is a woman going to beat you up? Yeah, right." I'm going to end up with a knife in my chest before anyone listens or takes a step into looking into this terror. Story 14. I thought I made a good friend. He said he was a hugger and touched me a bunch of times. I touched his back some, he thanked me, and then 2 days later said it was creepy and I couldn't come over anymore. Then I made a new Xbox friend, super clingy. Then he got mad at me for some small thing said to a friend and said rude stuff and blocked me on everything. I need hugs, touch, loyal guy friends, and not to act like I'm trying to get with you for wanting it. Story 15. I've just been feeling completely unmotivated and worthless for almost a year now. I have a lot of friends and I've talked to them about problems, and even though they were supportive, it still didn't help me at all, and now I just feel bad talking to them about it because I've done it multiple times already, which hasn't helped me at all, and I don't want to bother them anymore. No hope in my family either. My parents are divorced and all they care about is having influence over me and don't ever care how I feel. The one time I tried talking to my dad about my problems, he just kinda blamed me for it. Got mad that I was keeping to myself and just told me to be more social, which helped a little, but here I am now. Haven't talked to my friends in a week and I can't imagine doing any time soon. I don't even know what to say anymore. There's just so many moving parts and layers to my problems that I don't really know how to explain it properly. The worst parts are the self-loathing, crippling anxiety, and possible ADHD, which I can't even get tested for because I'm too scared. I'm just lost. I honestly don't know what to do, how to solve my problems, or even think rationally because one problem just leads to another and another, and it creates a cycle of ducked-up life issues. Story 16. So, my mom's chronically ill, her brain's deteriorating fast, and my dad's understandably very stressed due to all this and how many years it's lasted. He's the only person in the household I can really talk to. A conversation with my mom isn't really a conversation these days, and he's too stressed to have the energy or time to do so meaningly, and I'm really isolated. I just finished high school in spring and moved back home after living with my best friend for 9 months. Before living there, I was doing the same thing as now, taking care of mom, to help with my father's stress all while doing IB with 5 higher levels. I'm currently spending my sabbatical taking care of my sick vegetative mother. instead of getting a job and saving up and getting some good experience. I'm 20 years of age, and I'm in no way living for myself in any way. My only real escape is going to the gym to work out. The sweet release of dopamine is probably the only thing keeping me from falling into this dark, deep, treacherous hole of despair and depression. Well, that and being a nerd in the kitchen, which has gone to my hobby to a daily chore. I imagine my sabbatical would involve saving up, maybe getting a girlfriend, traveling with my best friend, and not just living for the sake of taking care of my parents. Honestly, it sometimes takes weeks to have a real conversation with people. I feel alone. Granted, it's necessary the quarantine isn't doing anything to help my situation. Story 17. Every single failed relationship I've had has been completely my fault. I'm self-destructive, depressed, and have been for some time. My actions and the choices I've made in the past year have pigeonholed me into a lifestyle and mindset that's inescapable. I want to die, but I'm too much of a coward to do it. Instead, I'll live in a miserable existence and let my vices lead me to an early demise. Story 18. This is by far the strangest and toughest year of my life. I feel lost at so many levels. I feel alone. I feel like a failure. I used to be someone that could contain others and support them, but now I can't. I'm shutting everyone I care about outside and just wish to hibernate. I'm telling my wife how I feel, but she's concentrated on herself and her own issues and can't contain me or support me. She's used for me being the one that contains her, but now I can't. She always feels like I'm making all the decisions, and therefore I control and manipulate her. But I took the decision since someone needed to take them, and she wasn't willing to take the responsibilities. I don't want to control her. I actually want her to take charge, lead our family while I kick my wounds. But she won't, and it's tearing us apart. I'm now unemployed for the first time in my life. I need positive energy to make a career change, and I've been aiming at it, but only have negative energy inside me. I can hardly find the will to get out of bed and take care of the house and kids. Story 19. I miss my dog. I have a great wife, 2 very amazing little boys, and a supportive family, but this year I had to put my dog down for many years after trying to hold back cancer. He was the one who motivated me when I was overseas, always the one who was happy to see me no matter what before we had children, and was very likely my closest friend I've ever had. I hear his bark sometimes. I mistake shadows for his figure. I dream about him. My issue is I spent the last 5 years working nonstop to make sure we had a nice home and a nice area. I didn't spend the time I wanted with him. I don't think anyone wants to hear about it anymore since it's been 5 months since I've put him down. But I'm grieving. I don't want or need sympathy. I just want to talk to my puppy, and how much he meant to me I'll share with people, and a pity party or dismissive I'm sorries, whatever. Good dogs should not die, is all I'm saying.